Well, a very good morning to you, Naledi, and the viewers. Indeed, it's a very big day, as it was yesterday, when the pomp ceremony, as you've correctly said, was displayed for the visiting head of state in the form of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And of course, he was welcomed at Buckingham Palace, and then he had a state banquet last night, so showing all the love to the South African president. But also, that was important that he addressed the members of parliament. That honor was last given to the late former president Nelson Mandela, who came here in 1996, and then he had that honor to address both houses of parliament. So what the president basically did yesterday was that he met with the king, and then they had lunch, they had dinner, and then they discussed a range of issues. You know that the king is really someone who is passionate about issues of the environment and climate change. But of course, today is the day where he is meeting the government leaders. He will meet the newly elected Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and of course, he will also address a business gathering, Naledi, and then after that, we hope to have the opportunity with him to quiz him about a range of issues, obviously domestically and internationally.
Yeah, some very big conversations that are taking place there. And of course, the President of South Africa having also met with the UK Parliament, where he's talked about South Africa being open for investment. I think that was obviously a critical discussion that we need to unpack as well, Mzwandile.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of it all, it's not about pageantry that the President has come here for. At the end of the day, is what he takes home after this visit. So we know that our economy is not in the best of shapes, and we know that our state of energy, the rolling blackouts, need urgent attention. We know that we need a number of skills in various fields. So the meeting really and the address to Parliament was to remind them to say, South Africa really wants your help. South Africa wants to do business with you, because at this stage, it's very, very difficult. He spoke about the restructuring of the economy. He spoke about the restructuring of the energy sector. He is saying, British people with your expertise and experience, come in because we want to boost our energy capacity. So the issue really of the rolling blackouts was not lost on the state visit. So the president was very well aware of all those issues that he needs to address, especially to those who can be able to lend a helping hand.
Yeah, I'm keen to hear how he's received. I mean, you can talk to me about how he was received by the Parliament of the United Kingdom. But I think a really big one coming up is that sit-down that he's going to be having with the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. I mean, the key points that you think he'll be wanting to touch on with the Prime Minister.
Oh yes, in terms of the reception, you saw at the conclusion of that speech, he received a standing ovation, so which basically told you that they were very happy with some of the things that he said, even if he said some things that were perhaps difficult to their ear, basically saying to them, in the past, you have not made good on some of the pledges, so we hope you'll be able to do that. But with regards to the meeting with Rishi Sunak, in fact, even in Parliament, he said one of the things really that he would want to see happen is the uptake of the students that come here for a number of skills. So you know that he had met a number of them on the day he arrived here as part of those Friends of South Africa. So he said in his meeting with Rishi Sunak, he will say, I would like to send more students here to acquire skills in various fields, because that is what this country, our country, South Africa, needs at the moment. So you need people who are skilled, you need people who have a know-how to be able to drive the modern day economy. So in the absence of all of that, honestly, this visit will not make so much sense. So that's why he stressed on that. But of course, right now he'll be visiting a number of facilities, some of it obviously not necessarily accessible to the media. Yeah. Around the medical facility, you know, that facility which was very key in the development of the vaccine here, the COVID vaccine. So those are the skills really that the president will want to get from Britain. And he also made it known that as much as he wants this partnership, he wants it on equal basis. In the past, he said, our relations have been very strong, have been very good, but we know there have been ups and downs. What we'll want to do, we'll want to focus on the ups, because the positives are what yield the results that everyone desires.
I know that you are in the cold London rain there, Mzwandile, but I want to squeeze one more in, if you could just be a little bit more resilient for us. I'm keen to talk about this business meeting that he's going to be having with business leaders in the United Kingdom. Yeah. Are our very own business leaders represented there? I mean, surely the discussion of trade, even between private sector and private sector, between the two nations, obviously a critical discussion.
You know, Naledi, what they normally say, whether it's in government speak, is that the government is an enabler. So it enables the conditions for business to be able to do its work. So what this meeting will do is that, because there will be government, there will be business. So government will be able to say to their counterparts, these are the plans we are coming with as a country. This is what we want to do. But obviously, for that to be actualized, you need people with skills. So people who strike contracts, people who will get contracts out there to do the work are the business people. So they will be here at the Lancaster House, where he will be speaking to business from both sides. So they will be able to pose those questions as well, because there has been an issue as well around the situation in South Africa. Some of the investors have really worried that these rolling blackouts are posing a threat, particularly to investors. So that issue for me will come up very, very clearly, and I think the president will have an opportunity to address it, and in fact invite some of those who are able to assist to lend a helping hand.